Let's
Come
go.
on, come on. Hey, everybody. How you doing? This is Evan Layton with HTown Happy Hour.
Derek Levy with HTown Happy Hour, #1 podcast in the world.
In the world, baby. Let them know, man. And our very special guest for you today, we have...
Yo, what's good? It's Outspoken Bean. Happy to be here. Shall I go on? Shall I continue?
Yeah.
So I am a poet, a performance poet. I started in the world of poetry slam long time ago, and I am currently Houston's poet laureate.
Poet Laureate. What is the Poet Laureate? Right? We need to know.
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
What does that mean?
It sounds like one of them French words that just get thrown in there.
English, but you know, Europe,
okay.
Europe world, you know what I mean? So, man, I like explaining it this way, right? I like explaining it these two ways. Y'all willing to follow me for a little bit?
Tell us.
We only got an hour, bro.
Let's go.
I'm sure everyone else would like to know, too, what exactly is a Poet Laureate?
Yeah, so I can give you the Oxford Dictionary version, but I
then
think
give us your version.
I think people really understand it through this way. So basically, it's a poetic ambassador issued by a governing body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For a city or for a state?
It could be a state. There's a Texas Poet Laureate.
Wow.
There's a United States Poet Laureate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's interesting, dog, because...
Those are your next steps.
Yeah, straight up. That is. But I think it's interesting that, you know, we all are familiar with during when kings mattered, right, in England and stuff, right? And they had the fool, right?
The Joker, the clown.
The Joker, the clown, right? And the thing about the fool, right, or the jester, right? The jester. The thing about it is that was the only person that could tell the truth to the king.
Wow.
Through jokes.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Jokes are a great way to get the truth out there.
It really is.
There's a little bit of truth in every joke.
Yep.
Exactly. But their job was the only person the king trusted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
To do that. And it was you know, and if you weren't funny, or if he caught it, most people were like, oh, if he wasn't funny, he died. Also, if he got caught lying, right? So everyone else's job is to lie to the king.
So the jester was a trusted source.
Was a trusted source it was a mirror. Was a mirror.
Yeah.
Was a mirror to him, essentially, right? So that's the jester. In the same time frame, I've done research. In the same time frame, right, there's also the laureate. And the laureate is who the king would tell this person, right? And then that person would go out and tell the people.
Spread the word.
Right.
Through poetry.
Wow.
The ambassador.
Yeah.
No, that came later.
Okay.
They added poetry later, but the laureate...
He put the laureate as the one to let the people know.
Hey, this is what's going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was the news source.
He was a news source, yeah. And so then, much later, the poet laureate, right? The poet ambassador of, again, state, whatever.
Gotcha.
So I'm Houston's fifth.
Five times.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Dylan.
That's still one of my favorite parts of Chappelle's show.
So funny, man. If you weren't there, you missed it.
Yeah.
If you weren't there, you missed it.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Yo, if you know, you know. Like,
Hey, you know what else?
To explain.
The Mad Real World cracked me up, man.
Oh my gosh.
Whenever they had Homeboy in there, they're like, we really
man.
don't feel safe with you being in here.
Yeah.
And he's like, you stabbed
man.
my dad. And they're like, we don't feel comfortable with you here.
Oh man. I would never not love that show. Anyway.
Right, yeah.
So the laureate.
Yes.
Laureate, like, I had this honor, and honestly, truth be told, I had never heard of that until I was an adult.
Yeah.
Like after college.
Yeah.
And I was doing poetry, and then when I heard about it, I was like, oh, that's cool. I could never get that because there's an idea of like poetry, especially in the poetry world. There's academia, and then there's like slam / performance poetry / spoken word.
Okay,
right?
cool. So that's okay.
There's a Red Sea divide, right?
Yeah.
And
which
and
I think is actually present in a lot of creative fields.
Yes.
There's a Red Sea of like the hoity-toity,
corporate,
and then the...
No, this is not even corporate.
Yeah, not corporate.
This is not even corporate. There is he's right about that, but this is different. This is like the barrier is academia.
Yeah.
So if you don't have XYZ degrees, then then your creative process is not valid.
Wow.
Right?
Okay. So more like the other people.
Yeah,
be raw.
Which is
This
bullshit.
is raw, real.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Which is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's just bullshit,
Yep.
right? And so, as of like people, my contemporaries, some of them wind up getting the degrees.
Yeah.
And they're like, now what?
And is it just to be
You know what I'm
respected by other people who have taken that route as well?
One more time?
Is it because those people did they get degrees in order to be respected by the community that they were trying to go to, or is it because they had the skill? They had the skill, and then they're like, I need to be taken more real by these people who have done the same work.
That's interesting. Maybe the answer to that is the last one because I can't answer on an individual basis. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to be frank and honest, I can't answer on the individual basis, but from what's seen collectively, right? It's a societal norm. Most people, even the term poet laureate sounds lofty. Right?
It is.
It's neat. It's nifty.
Yeah. And the source of where I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
But and the source of where it came from, high in England. You know what I'm saying? Like even where it's the stem of it. You know what I'm saying? And so for someone who doesn't have, I have a bachelor's, but for someone who doesn't have like advanced degrees, I don't have an MFA. I don't have.
What type of degrees are qualify somebody to be higher up in that field?
But that's the point. To be a creative writer, why do you need a degree?
If you're already creating.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'll answer your question. Right? I'll answer your question.
That sounds like a fair trade. Yes.
Yeah, I'll answer your question. But that mindset is the fight.
I see.
Because it's an easier mindset for people to grapple because that's what we're told.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But so like U of H, whether people know this or not, has one of the best creative writing schools in the country. It's number 2.
Really?
To Iowa. Number 2. You know what I mean?
To Iowa.
Yeah, and creative writing Iowa school. But even like when people who I know, U of H not so much, but nah. Even U of H, man. Even U of H. Because like, and that's an MFA, right? A master's in fine arts in writing, right? Creative writing, right? And so they have there's there like once you start getting into those spaces, it's usually white. You know what I mean? Usually white, high class with money.
Like an upper echelon thing. Like, yeah.
Thank you.
So,
I'm glad you're here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Laureate, thank you for representing.
Thank
you for representing.
I appreciate it.
Oh, wait. Hey, before we get too far
Hold everything.
For the audience, before we get too dive in, you do this thing online, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like you freestyle poems, right?
Oh, my 5-minute poems.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
so we're gonna give you a little more, or we'll give you a little more time. We'll come back to it, but we wanna do that on the show too.
Oh man, that's cool. Well, give me a some paper and a pen, and I got you.
Cool.
Yeah.
3 words, right?
Yeah.
Go for it, Dave. You have your notebook.
All right. 3 words. The 3 words are.
Now these were thought out pretty hard, so just make sure.
How about this? You write them. You write the words, show them to the cameras. I won't look at it, and then you give it to me face down. And then when we're ready to do it, I'll be looking at it for the first time.
You guys, the audience right here is going to be real weary about the words we're going to choose. Now, everyone tune in. Go figure.
3 words. Almost the 3 best words in the English dictionary.
Lexicon.
Probably the 3 best words.
Now these were well thought out, and these are in that Oxford Dictionary also.
I'm with you.
So do you just want 5 minutes, or do you want to come back to it towards the end?
When it comes to when we do it, it's a whole experience. So it's 5 minutes. You're gonna sit here. Y'all can play music, and I'll write. You can talk to me as I write.
Oh, but you need a break.
Yeah, but
You
it'll be
need
later.
5 minutes.
Yeah, let's do the interview first, and then that last 5 minutes.
Cool.
So
Let's run
let me ask you this. Back
Does
to
that sound fair?
That sounds great.
Cool.
Perfect. Sounds great. Cool.
So whenever you were talking about some of the upper class people that they gets into it, kind of gets more whitewashed. If you said, do you think maybe because like with that creative writing?
Not kinda.
So what is that? What are they going for? Is it to like write movies? Is it to write scripts? Like is that
Books.
where that books? Okay.
Books, yeah, to write books and to and then like those real plush tenure jobs.
So and also I know like with poetry and things of that nature, there's like there's cadences and certain
sure.
and like stanzas and stuff
for sure.
and there's certain syllable counts that matter. So all that sort of things, I think maybe the average creative writer could learn to do better. Like if they learn, if they haven't already been exposed to that.
Yeah.
So what kind of stuff did you experience?
But it's expensive to get into the schools, right? That's the barrier,
Right.
You know what I'm saying, right? And also like a lot of things are changing because people are demanding the change.
Yeah.
Social media and
Cool.
really social media.
Yeah.
Social media
right.
and Google and YouTube, right, are demanding the change. You know what I'm saying? People are like, you know, places like Houston's own. I'm trying to think of things that are Houston based, right? But like Right About Now, right, which is based here every Wednesday at Avant Garden. They record every performance. They get permission from the
Artists,
poets.
the poets.
If they can post it.
Yeah.
And the poets usually are like, because they get like 11. They could get 11 million views.
Right.
That's a form
That's the
of
power
publishing.
of social media now.
Bro, come on.
It's huge.
They're not gonna say no. They're not gonna say no.
But you know that helps combat that barrier of school.
Exactly.
Of that barrier, like you're talking about, it's in a lot of creative fields, but social media is helping combat that. Like you don't have to, even in the music industry now, the record labels aren't really controlling it as much. Right. Social media gives that person the power.
Exactly.
Same with these poets, like you said, like they don't have that. It's getting rid of that barrier.
That's right. And so like you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But to me, it's like, yo, I want to learn those other things as well.
Right.
It just has. I believe in accessibility.
Yeah.
I believe in accessibility.
I mean, those kind of things, they just make you be able to speak better to the people.
Yeah.
It makes you be able to communicate more effectively to the people.
And it's just cool to know, right? Like, even taking that out of it.
Yeah.
Why can't I learn something creative?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
Like straight up. Like, why?
Or maybe like some avenues to be more creative. You know?
Yes, like,
I mean, okay.
Why not?
Well, see, I remember whenever I was a youngster, I was learning, like, I took it was somewhat of a poetry class, and even learning what a haiku was. Yeah. The 575 syllable count.
Facts.
It's like there's some people walking around now who don't know what it is, and maybe it's not not what you've been exposed to. But those kind of things, somebody who's like, man, I want to learn how to write better. And it's like, well, maybe start with something small. You know what a haiku is? Explain what you mean to paint a whole story.
Every step is built off of that,
Paint a whole story within, 17 syllables.
Speaking of him as a youngster, this is a very important question, I feel like, that we kind of just skipped over. What got you into poetry, bro? What got you into creative writing? How did you get started?
First off, I want to give you mad props on that segue.
Yeah.
That segue was impressive.
Hey, bro. We outside.
That was Barbara Walters-esque.
No, because
that segue was official.
Cool. It's official. I need a whistle. Give me a whistle. Somebody give me a whistle.
Hey, man. All right.
He said I was a youngster. He said, speaking of him being a youngster, what made you want
What you got started in?
I was like, because I didn't know where you were going.
Look at his pen, man.
That segue was A1.
Yeah,
This
cool.
on me, A1. So my late brother.
Yeah.
My late brother got me into it. So I'm the baby of 5. Both of my parents are from New Orleans. All my family is from New Orleans. And I'm my mother's only child, and I'm the only one that didn't grow up in New Orleans, right? Yeah. So there's an age gap between me and my oldest brother by like 15 years.
Wow.
Right? And so when Katrina hit, he wound up moving to Atlanta. A lot of my family wound up moving to Atlanta. And him and I rekindled our relationship, and we would just talk pretty frequently all the time.
Yeah, just
really.
like on the phone?
Yeah, on the phone. Sure. I would go out there and see him and stuff like that. And I admitted to him, and during that time, like, man, I started rapping because of you. Like, you were the first person. Like, when we would go to New Orleans and I would get my hair cut, my brother was a barber. He would cut my hair. We would go to where he lived, and I would go upstairs. My dad and my mom would leave me alone, just like to bond. But there is no bonding with an 8-year-old and you know what I mean? But he was cutting my hair, and they would have on the TV, have on MTV Jams or BET or something like that, and they would rap like over the videos. You know what I mean? I remember watching like Wu-Tang and my brother and my cousin, my cousin Miguel, like they would rap. They would rap straight up, and they were cold at it. And then when I would get my hair cut, I would like rush to the bathroom and I would start imitating him. You know what I mean?
Nice. Like a little kid does.
Yeah,
Sponge.
man. Yeah. And so then as I got older, I started rapping first. So it started off as rapping.
Which we were actually having this conversation earlier. Music, rap, that is just a form of poetry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
RAP, rhythm and poetry.
Right.
Well, and that was another thing
That's what that says
Wow.
That-
Never.
for. That's what it
Never
stands
knew
for.
That was another thing I was
poetry.
going to ask you about. Like, how do you feel about a lot of the way music is right now?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a lot.
Which part of
there's
music?
All right, well,
Before
exactly.
we get over
Hold
to
on,
that, though,
hold on.
let's let him
I'm
finish
asking the
about.
question.
I know,
I'm
but let's
asking
let
the
him finish
question.
how he got started in poetry.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we segue into another thing.
So, where was I? Yeah. So that's how I started with rapping, and then when I got to college at Prairie View A&M, I was still rapping, but man, y'all, I wanted to get the girls, bro. So I started doing poetry.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Respect.
And then that first summer after my freshman year, I went back to San Antonio. And I found out about Poetry Slam. I went to a Poetry Slam not knowing what it was, not understanding it. And I competed, again, not knowing that I was competing. And then I left after I performed. And I came back the next week with another poem. Yeah. And the guy, Shaggy, who was over it, he was like, "Hey, Bean, yeah, so let me tell you how slam works." And he broke it down like, yeah, you got the first round, you got the second round, and there's, I was like, oh, it's like battling. He was like, well, you're not going to.
It's like a tournament. It's a tournament.
It's a tournament, yeah. But you're not going at someone. You are going against them with your own prepared original work. And I was like, oh, I just got to get the crowd on my side. He's like, yeah. I was like, bang.
MCing.
And I was sold.
MCing.
I was sold. Yeah. And that's how.
So
that's where it started.
Now, how did the name Bean come around?
Bean is my last name, my real last name.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect.
How did Outspoken Bean come around? So, my stage name, a moniker, if you will. So back to my late brother. He was really influential, right? And like, hey man, like it wasn't just him. It was a ton of people. I don't have a story of like, man, teachers never gave a shit about me. That's not my story.
Miss Johnson told me I wasn't gonna do nothing, so I did something.
That's not my story.
Right.
That's not my story at all.
Right.
But my brother though, because he's my brother, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He was in Atlanta, as I said, and it's post Katrina.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I'm explaining to him what Poetry Slam is, and I was like, man, I found out that they got like a college version of it, but we don't have a team at Prairie View. And he was like, then start it. And I was like,
recruit them.
Yeah, and I was like,
build the team.
With what? And he was like, don't you tell me like 100-something people show up to your open mic that you do on campus?
Damn.
I was like, oh yeah.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. And he was like,
Those are your
let's
people.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was the person that like put that in my head, right? Dr. Jones says he's the person, but that's a lie. That's not true. My brother. And
He planted that seed.
He planted that seed first.
That's true.
And so then, man, it went to like, just thinking about it and trying to build it and calling up ACUI, which is the governing body over the Poetry Slam for college, right? Like, and when I say call up the ACUI, I mean getting on a phone, not looking, couldn't find finding out where is ACUI located, like what state, and then going to, like, it was more than just Google and calling someone and being annoying until I got to the person.
Well, I mean, it's calling, getting some information, calling someone else, gathering more info, calling someone else, gathering more, until you get what you need.
Yeah.
Until
and
you
then
get what
when
you
I got
need.
to that person, he was like, I'm not even working on that yet. I was like, well, what is it? What is it I need to do then?
Yeah.
Right. So anyway.
So you stepped up to become,
So I do everything I need to do, make it an official club on campus, Prairie View Productive Poets. I started that.
Wow.
I wind up having a slam. Prairie View Productive Poets still is in operation at Prairie View right now. That's over 10 years.
Hey, respect.
Yeah, I love it. And I would just go by like Outspoken as just like my moniker. My brother, who also rapped, as I said, him and I would like read my poems to him, and he would be like, nah, that shit's kind of whack.
I mean, appreciate the brothers for the real words, man.
It's always nice.
Hey, honestly, bro, I appreciate the work, but it's whack.
Nah, man, I was fly out here.
They just weren't his style.
Yo, man, boy.
Okay, so let me ask you this. When did you start to learn how to do writing the correct way?
There's no correct way. So that's what I learned, right? My brother was hood. You know what I mean? And one thing he said was like, if you can't reach everyone, do it for what? If you only trying to reach the higher echelon and not the people,
right?
You ain't reaching me. It's not touching me. That's what he was saying.
Damn.
So is that where that Red Sea occurs?
That's when I think at that time, I was buying into poetry has to be for the high end.
Wow.
At that time, my brother was the person that was like, nah, like you were rapping and like I was seeing rap at a lower art than what it was, and he was like, nah, why can't it be both?
Damn.
That's where he was coming from. So, and then also he hated my name. He was like,
what a good brother. What a good brother. Your name is
But
dumb.
I hated his name. His name was Do Benefit. I was like, dog, you're named after poop, bro.
Your name is Do. You are Do.
Are you serious?
Okay, do Benefit.
You know what I mean? But he was called.
My bad.
I would call him that. I would call him that. It's fun, but it was like a childhood name.
Yeah,
Dude,
for sure.
He was called Do as a child, and then Benefit, right? And he was like, well, the thing is, maybe you should put Bean. Outspoken Bean sounds dope. I was like, I'm not doing that. That sounds dumb. But even though everyone called me Bean anyway.
Yeah.
Well, my brother, unfortunately, y'all. So my brother, before we went to U of H for competition, it was important. This regional competition. If we won this, it paid for our registration to go to nationals.
Damn.
Right? We wind up winning.
Wow.
The day before we went, it was at U of H, so it wasn't a big drive or anything, right? Yeah, man, he died. He was murdered in Atlanta the day before, 2008, February 21st.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear
Rest
that.
in peace.
And so I appreciate that. And so that's when I took Outspoken Bean.
Yeah. Wow. It's like a tribute.
It's a tribute.
Hey, but is even bigger than just your name being a tribute. You continuing to do poetry and like tell his story. He's gonna always live on through that, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I see it that way because, people ask why Outspoken Bean.
How did that name come around? Yeah.
And I can only tell the truth.
Damn.
Cool. Well, and also, I mean, something like that, something that, someone was kind of showing you, someone so close to you was showing it to you, and then for them to tragically pass like that, that kind of heartbreak is almost something to spur on championship activity. And
thank you. Wow, thank you. Yeah.
And I mean, and with such a title as Poet Laureate, I mean,
yeah, he would be happy, man.
He would be absolutely
he would be happy, man.
Absolutely.
He is happy.
I appreciate that.
He is happy, bro.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, let's take that's deep, bro. Respect. Much respect. My pops passed away, and so much of the stuff I do, it's like I think of him. Like a lot of the things my pops used to tell me, I didn't get until he died, and then it was like every day something would happen. I'd be like, dude, my dad was trying to tell me that. My dad was teaching me that, and it in no way is it a good thing that I lost my father. In no way is it a good thing that you lost your brother, but it made me grow up. I started to realize everything he used to talk about, and it had so much more meaning now. So I can kind of feel you in a different way, but
no, it's in a lot of ways it's the same.
For sure.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what is poetry?
What is poetry? I don't know. what it is.
And there's
You know
no
what I
right
mean?
way to write. There's no correct way to write.
Dictionary. I want the Outspoken Bean definition of what is poetry.
It's a creative dialogue, you know. It's a creative dialogue. It's a way to. I tell my students, it's therapeutic, but it's not therapy, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of things if you're able to get angst out, and a lot of like honesty can come from it. It's a purging in a lot of ways. It's a purging in a lot of ways.
Can I add something on top of that? As far as writing goes, it was a couple of years back where there was something that something happened in my life where I was like, I was trying to make realizations of how do I get better, how do I accomplish more, and what it came down to was if you don't write it down, it's not going to happen for you. For me, if I don't write it down, it's not real. If I just write about it, it's another one of those clever ideas that never come to fruition. And so for me, it was
focusing. Writing is a focus.
It was so therapeutic for me because I could finally find a way to get my those wild thoughts out on paper and keep those thoughts documented, because I can look back and be like, nope, Janet, you were looking for a house in Santa Fe, about $360,000 for about 4-bed, 2-bath, because remember we talked the other, things like that. It's done wonders for me on my personal level.
Yeah.
It's done wonders for me on my personal level, and just wanted to add that on top.
That's perfect.
Yeah. No, that's money. That's good.
I find it funny, man, like in this age that we're in of technology, that writing is still like, barbaric is not the word at all, but it's like, it's such a easy thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we have phones, we have these cameras that don't look like cameras. We're a decade away from cars flying. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
And the best thing to do for like memory of like increasing your mind is physically writing it out.
Yeah.
Physically, right?
Yeah,
like
for
like the penmanship of it. It doesn't matter if your handwriting is trash or not.
Yeah.
It's so much that goes from like there's reading in that, there's like the dexterity of your fingers and everything, like so many things go into place to physically like get a pen, pencil, whatever.
Right.
And or pencil, right? Pencil to paper and write it out.
It's almost like it's a commitment too. Once you write it, it's a commitment.
It is.
I mean, look at it in its simplest form, like a signature. Mm-hmm. That's your commitment. Like the official standard commitment of the world is a signature.
Speaking of signatures, this even goes with writing also. There's a lot of people who don't know how to write cursive or their signature.
True.
There's some people that don't that can't do it anymore.
But do you think that's do you think that goes back to what he was even mentioning earlier, partly accessibility?
I think it's about the accessibility. Now, you said you were a teacher, right?
So I want to get to the cursive. I believe cursive should still be taught.
I do.
So,
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
At schools, right?
Yes.
Because Steve Jobs' children and like people who are up in that, they're still learning it.
Right.
You know what
So
I mean?
why aren't we? And it's so funny. And it's so funny because whenever I write like thank you notes, or whenever I write like my like notes,
That Red Sea is why.
There's a part there for.
Well,
So you write your thank you notes. Yeah.
whenever I write my thank you notes and things of that nature, I make sure that my cursive is beautiful. I try to make sure that it's beautiful and it's legible and it has the same. It's all lined up in the same right way. The first letters, capital on some of them at the beginning of a sentence, and then start your next word. There's a lot of people that don't know those small, little simple rules, and even like just the flow of it. I mean, it's like my chicken scratch BS that I have right here that I still obviously can read because I know how to take my notes. The cursive is it's gorgeous when it's on paper.
Yeah.
And it's done
cursive
right.
and like writing, like knowing how to, and the manual print, right? I think they're not being taught. Penmanship is not being taught across the board. Obviously, there are some schools that are, but I think it should be taught. When we were growing up, it was taught across the board.
For sure. It was mandatory. Sometimes they forced us to write in cursive. We couldn't write.
Yeah,
in
the
print.
paper with the middle line.
Yeah.
I remember the dotted lines and stuff.
Go.
No, I remember doing those circles over and over and over to a certain direction, just like boom, 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 boom.
Oh, for sure.
Doing those over and over and over.
Yeah,
because it was a function. It was a function that you're learning.
And it feels good. Yeah. It's like it's
kind of like a wax on, wax off kind of thing. Wax on, wax off. Now whenever someone tries to swing at you, you know what I mean?
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah,
that's smart. Yeah, I like that.
I like that, man.
And it's. I mean, you kind of mentioned it. Like Steve Jobs is, his kids are still learning this, and these people's children.
His child is
an
adult now, but
that
you know what I mean,
right?
Yeah.
But to take that even further, like he was huge into like cursive and other languages, and if you look, that's what the design is what made Apple and Mac
when he came back
successful. When he came back, that's what made it successful. Yeah. Is people don't know what they want. Let me design something, because most people, and I hate to say it, most people don't recognize design. I didn't for a long time until I started being surrounded by the design field, and I started to see it, and I was immersed in it, and I was like, holy shit, I was oblivious to this stuff my whole life. I just had Apple because that was the thing to do.
Yeah.
But then I start to see it.
It's a functionality.
Wow. Exactly.
Yeah. Design is a functionality.
It is.
And he understood that, like even like the grip of it and how.
Yes.
And it's, man. Can we talk real quick?
Let's talk.
Please.
Keep it real, raw.
Tell the truth.
Say what you want, right?
Yeah.
But the grip of the Apple III is the best grip Apple ever came out with.
Like the iPhone 3?
The iPhone 3.
Wow. I'm going to have to go check it out.
Was it that kind of rounded one? I remember.
And they went back to it because they were kind of changing, and then they went back to it.
They started doing square hard edges and shit.
But they went back to it. But it was the right amount of thickness
to fit perfectly right there.
Perfect.
And accent and it
was perfect.
I feel you.
I'll tell you, but even so, like even to add to that, like when I take my case off, you can't do it because you'll break your fucking phone. But when I take
as soon as you take it off,
when I take my case off, it just feels so damn good.
Yeah.
Like in my hand, the way it's just so fucking nice. It sucks that
sleek.
we have to put sleek.
Yeah.
It was in the pocket, in and out.
It was this size, but just like like it was about that size, right, man? It was something to say about it. That's all I'm saying.
So at what point in your tenure of doing this did you start to see yourself elevating through the traction of where you are now?
Yeah.
Like when did you at what age did you start, or not age, but at what time in your life were you kind of like Outspoken Bean is really outspoken and doing this quite well.
This is what I'm gonna do.
I need to continue grinding.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, Poet Laureate is a big one.
For sure.
And I got some big grants and some big residencies that helped affirm it. But, I was always satisfied that I was working.
Yeah.
I was always satisfied that I was able to work and able to pay my bills and stuff. And, unfortunately, it's ebbs and flows. And even when I was touring, like, full time, and that's all I was doing, like, not teaching at all, it wasn't consistent enough.
Right.
And it was just hard. Like, the business of it was hard. And so what kept me afloat is Metaphor Houston, which is the youth poetry slam team here in Houston.
Yeah.
And I found out about that in 2009 when I also decided to move to Houston. Like, that's what kept me here.
Yeah.
And Metaphor Houston, man, is it was like, I always knew I had a job in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I always knew I had a job in the summer. It's grown way more than that now. You know what I mean? It's a much more robust, and Writers in the Schools now has it, and Writers in the Schools is like it's housed under Writers in the Schools, right? Which is a nonprofit here in Houston. But just knowing that there's that this has kept me, and it's at a point now like some of my previous students, we're hiring them. You know what I mean?
Isn't that a great feeling?
It's awesome. Like, we're hiring them, and I'm seeing a path. I don't want to say an out, but I'm seeing a path where my presence is not as it's not as needed.
Necessary.
Necessary for it. Hold on one second.
I got you, man.
But it's not as necessary, and it's not going to financially hurt me.
So let me tell you about with teachers specifically. You know, my grandmother had 3 Montessori schools, so so she's hired teachers her whole life.
Wow.
I've looked at teachers and been like, my grandma's gonna fire you if you don't do what I say. You know, so I know what it's looked like to totally disrespect authority in its face, but at the same time, my grandma always let me know, a teacher never knows how far their work really goes.
Right.
So really, what I wanted, what brought it full circle for me with that was you're seeing your former students getting hired from the work that you've done. That's an absolute shot preview of the work that you've done continuing on in the world.
It's fucking beautiful.
I appreciate it.
It's fucking
That's
beautiful.
an absolute shot of you being able to see the work that you put into the world.
Yeah, I mean, I got students I have students. Man, I've been coaching Metaphor Houston since 2009. Yo, I got students who I can't even say they're kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I got students who are doctors. I got students who are lawyers.
Yeah.
I got students who are, you know what I mean? Like, who one signed the Def Jam, right? I have students.
That's awesome, bro.
I have students that are and they still look up to me. Not all of them, but some of them are they're like, yo, they still look up to me.
They give you your respect.
And
I appreciate it.
Who knows down the road, like exactly like he hit the nail on the head. Who knows down the road that the knowledge they probably gain from you, like that's gonna help them infinitely down the road. There could be 20 years down the road, something you taught them can click for them and help them in certain situations and stuff.
You know, and it's interesting though, because it's like, man, you know, I was one of my students, Linda, like she's 22, and I was 22 when I started this work. I wouldn't have listened to me.
Damn. So nod to her that she did.
Well, she was a child, right? Like she's 22 now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And but she's learning a lot from me, right? And she was my assistant coach this year, and so she's learning a lot from me and working with me and stuff like that, and following things and there's times where I'm like, nah, dog, like this ain't, that ain't it. You know what I mean?
It's not
I'm at an age where it's like some of my students, I can father them. You know what I mean? Like, so like it's different at this sense. Whereas like at 22, I was acting like that, right? And hoping I was right. And a lot of things, but now if they're asking me questions, I'm most likely gone through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's a different
And now you
set of authority.
Even the mindset that you had back then, now you have the experience to back it up.
You're teaching through
the
experience.
The
That's what I mean.
mindset that you had of like, man, I did that. Now it's like 20 years later, you're like, no, child, I did that. Let me tell you what happened. You know?
Straight up.
So it's just all those experiences. You know what I mean? They all matter to the initial instructor.
They matter.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all. That's all. Yeah. Well, that's not all. I'll answer whatever questions.
Yeah,
you
no,
have.
that's huge.
It's not all.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so tell me, what's your favorite avenue?
What do you mean?
Well, because obviously you have teaching. Obviously you've done the slam poetry. You've done performance poet work. What's your favorite way to get it out there for you personally?
Poetry, performing it.
Performing.
Yeah,
Live.
straight up. Yeah,
Live.
performing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, man. I mean, I'm also
Yeah.
a producer, right? I also produce events. I produce concerts. I've produced a festival called Plus Fest.
Dope.
I hope to bring it back.
Hey, we'd love to collaborate on that. We've done festivals on our own.
I know that.
We've had
We'll
thousand
talk.
plus people festivals.
We'll definitely talk about that
let's
for sure.
run it.
Yeah. And so, like, you know, but man, I like being on stage.
For sure. Yo, there's
The
nothing
lights,
like
camera, the act.
I've always told Evan, I've always said I'm a one-man act and the world is my stage. Like, and that's applicable to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
True,
the
very
world
true.
is your stage.
Very
Every
true,
time you
very
interact
true.
with someone, it's your show.
chance to perform.
It's your chance to perform. Like, he always calls me dramatic. Well, so are you, motherfucker. So are you.
All right, you
Like,
might have a point.
I went to school for drama and shit too for a while, and this even wraps back around to like I was gonna say the teaching thing and stuff. Honestly, I went to school for drama and stuff, and I stopped going to school for drama once I took my first speech course. And I fell in love with just speaking. Like, I realized, yo, this is what I want to do. And like, we had to do the speeches and everything. And I loved the butterflies I got before I went on. And like, even just performing in front of the class, I loved it. And like, having to learn how to deliver it effectively and like putting emphasis on specific parts and how even using monotone sometime and talking very regular, and then boom, you hit them with it. Like, one of my speeches I gave, and I don't even know if my teacher really liked it, but
I did. I enjoyed it.
The importance of the importance of knowing how to speak. Like, I gave a speech on the importance of knowing how to speak, and I remember, and it's not necessarily what you say, it's how you say it. My favorite part about the speech was I was like, I'm gonna say a bunch of nothing now, but I'm gonna make it sound like it's the most important thing in the world. The big blue burger was behind the boat, buried underneath the bologna. And it's like,
how does the dusk make the mask to rave? How does the buttercorn get his apricot?
I'll make it sound like the most important thing in the fucking world.
The urgency, right?
Right. Derek, I feel like it's I feel it's churning, man. Is there a monologue that we need to hear? Is there a monologue that we need to hear out here? What gives the dawn its musk to raid? What's the nut and apricot?
Hey, I'll do it. But I'm gonna have you do something in the 5 minutes while he prepares.
Well, you know what?
I've been trying to brainstorm, like, oh fuck, what are we gonna do that 5 minutes? I know we can fill it, but let's fill it with something meaningful.
Man, I don't know if I'm gonna have the time to do that today. Happy Town, all right. HTown Happyville, we out. H2 Hightower, shout out Uncle Jim. You see me now? Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, wait. I have a few more questions too.
That was a personal thing with my uncle.
All right. What outside of poetry influences your poetry?
Oh, that's a good question.
Nice. Well put, Derek. Well put. Absolutely.
What outside of poetry influences? I mean, a lot of things, man. But I want to be Pacific.
Yeah.
Well, that's on the West Coast, player.
We on the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, man. Third Coast, West Coast.
So, movies are influential for me.
Yeah.
Conversation. I had a whole one-man show that was derived from conversations that I would have with the audience member in real time.
Awesome.
Called Converse, and so, but I've kind of grown out of that.
It wasn't called Conversate?
No, it was not.
Tell me why I was just about to say that, dude. I was like, are you sure? No, we be conversating and stuff like that.
Conversate for
no,
a
it's
few,
funny. I was literally
we gonna do what we came to do.
Ooh, ain't that right, boo?
True. But yeah, and so unfortunately, like I pay attention to what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
I say unfortunately because what's going on in the world ain't great.
Man, you know, that's why sometimes I like to just turn the TV off and just have a conversation with the neighbor. And
Yeah.
just see what's really going on, like with your neighbor.
My neighbor is kind of whack.
Shout out to whack neighbors. Get it right, bro. Get your shit together.
My neighbor's my homie. My bad, James. I had to throw you under the bus like that, dog.
He called him out by name.
Yeah, I had to call him out.
James Duggan at 123 Blueberry Street.
I feel like I've gotten memes from him, from y'all.
Yes. Oh man,
memes,
conversation, movies.
Yeah. You know what? Here's something that that's outside of poetry that inspires me. You know, I love to hike. Right. Mm-hmm. Me and my girl will travel. We're going this weekend. We're going to be going to California to do some hiking.
Great. Just being in nature.
Yeah, but not just being in nature, because there's being in nature, but like the actual, like the act of hiking. And I'm a novice, right? Yeah. That's another thing. I'm a novice at hiking. But I like hiking. I like the conversations that come from it, and being able to even if there's other people, that doesn't bother me so much. But like I may not write anything right then.
Right.
But then like a thought may come in my head, or later down the road, like 2-3 months later, boom. And
that's what it was.
Yeah. And so my writing is not like if I need to write something right there, like I have like when I leave here, I'm gonna get something to eat. And then I'm gonna go to a coffie shop and just get
for sure.
Get some pen,
practice
paper.
your craft.
Dude, not
Execute.
Execute, yeah. These are clients.
Hey, it's funny.
This is not practicing.
Hey, but even when you're executing, that's still practicing.
It
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Straight up, it is. Every
But
time
it's
I
also-
edit a video up, I'm gonna publish that video, right?
Yeah,
but
it's a
I'm
practice.
practicing that
It's a practice,
Okay.
right? It's a practice, but I do think I say like, yo, it's with clients, so it's like it's not because in my head, right? In my head, when I hear practice,
Yeah.
I think
It's like it's not. Yeah.
No.
AI.
I think about like no.
Okay.
No.
All right, I was gonna say most people do. Yeah.
No, I do think of that too. But I think about like how doctors say it's a practice, so that way they don't get sued. You know what I'm saying? Not a practice like on a craft. It's like they're like, oh, like that's what you know what I mean. So that's where I'm like, oh no. I'm doing
I should have
this
been
to
more
execute.
Specific.
There we go.
It's funny. I was talking to him outside for a little bit about kind of like about what the show was going to be like and everything today, and I was asking him, and he was talking about like I was like, what are some of the things you're going to talk about? And he said like, man, about some of the outside influences and stuff like that. And before you even got to ask about it, he was talking about how he's going to go on a hike to California because that outside influence matters. Yeah. Do you get much?
You gotta live.
Well,
you gotta live in order to create.
Do you get some of those influences here around the town?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what's some of your favorite spots to write at?
Agora.
I love Agora. It's
Man.
dope.
Agora, man.
Super dope.
I used to go there. There was a point in my life where I was really unemployed and no touring, no tour dates or anything, and I would just go to Agora and just write.
Yeah.
Like, go there, and I treated it like a job. I would get up, drive from Galleria where I was living, no money coming in, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Can't even afford a cup of coffee, but I'm still going to that coffee shop and writing.
Well, They had Wi-Fi, right?
Nice,
Wi-Fi.
yeah.
I had lost Wi-Fi where I was, so they had Wi-Fi, and they also knew me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they would help me out
Here's a cup of Joe, brother.
Yeah,
Get your writing on.
And I was also loyal, obviously, right? And so, and I would go there like at 9 a.m. and then at 1 take like a break.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then come back at 2 and then leave at like 5, 4 o'clock and head back home. And then sometimes go right back. You know what I mean? But I would just literally just be there, and I was like, all right, this is a job. I saw this. What is it? This documentary with some of my favorite poets at the time, Nis Morjgani and Buddy Wakefield. Buddy Wakefield is from Baytown, right outside of Houston, and but Morjgani said, this is what I chose to do. I'm a writer. I'm gonna go somewhere and I'm gonna write.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and this is, I'm gonna write something. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that was, and it gave me a focus. It gave me product.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of that I made into a chapbook. So when a tour came, I was like, oh, I got all of these things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So,
I started hawking those. Right? It gave me something.
So let me ask you this: whenever you say just write and just go put something down, what do you say to the people that have writer's block?
So writer's block is hot take in the writing community.
Hot take.
Right?
Let's do it.
All right.
We're here for it.
It's not really that hot to me, but whatever. That's the thing about hot takes, right? It's not hot to the person. I got on mittens. Right?
What sort of instruction does the writer block individual
Writer's block
receive?
is bullshit, man.
Okay.
Yeah, writer's block is bullshit. And
Wait a minute.
It's an excuse, right?
Damn.
It's an excuse. So and I said what I said.
What do you say? What do you say to the people that never experience writer's block?
No, it's so how they use it is bullshit.
How they deal with
how
it.
How it's used and used as an excuse is bullshit.
Yeah.
Writer's block is always there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
It's
Yes.
always there.
Yes.
All right. So story time. All right.
I'm taking notes, sir.
I see. Story time. Here we go. So, Statue of David in Rome.
Yeah.
Right. It's about 8 feet tall. Right. Done by Michelangelo. The state hired him to do it. But they kind of didn't want to. But he was Drake of their time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they had to bend over and run those coins if they wanted. He was the best.
Right.
He was the best.
If there's 21 top paintings and the 21 are all Michelangelo, what are you gonna say? Hey, can you do our painting, bro? That's what you're gonna say, man.
Even though they didn't want to.
He said he was the certified lover boy.
Bro, certified painter boy.
Certified painter boy.
You know what I'm saying? Sculptor. So here's the thing, right? So the thing about it, right? And I've never seen it in person, but I do know this fact. It's one slab of marble. It's like 8 feet tall, 10 feet tall. It's one slab of marble.
Huge. These are rare. That's
So
rare.
you know.
So people don't
So
know.
you know.
8 feet of marble is fucking rare.
So you know about this, right? And this is finished, right?
Yeah.
This is finished. But
Right.
marble, when it's and if I'm talking out my ass, like, because I may not know like the mechanics, but if you know something, just help me.
We're on the same
all right?
team out here, guys.
All right, cool. So it's one big slab of marble. This
Yeah.
is before like humans had to move this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are no
Before
mechanical.
like modern day machinery.
Come on, dog.
Hey,
No
put it on the
bulldozers.
18
So not
rig.
only,
Yeah.
right? So not only like that's what he required, right? He wanted it marble. They were like, well, how big is it going to be? Like 10 feet or something. So it was really 12 feet of this huge slab of marble that they had to pay for and pay his fee, bro. He's kind of wilding, right? But anyway.
He's stacking is what he's doing.
He
He's
is,
saying, "Pile it up on me, bitch.
but
Pile it up."
let me get to the point, right? I'm taking too long. I know I am.
You good.
So they do it, right? And they're complaining about it because it's expensive because marble in when you're chiseling it,
Yeah.
right? It's so fine and it's easy to mess up.
Yeah.
Usually sculptures are done in pieces. If you mess up on a foot, then get another piece and then you put it on.
Right, you
attach
didn't
it later.
waste an 8-foot block of marble.
Bro, they were afraid.
Fear,
They
man.
were afraid that he was going to mess up.
Yeah.
And then they would have to get another one and remove the one that's there because there is no replacing marble. Am I lying about this?
No, you ain't.
There is no, once it's off, hold on, bro. Once it's off, you start over.
The King's Laureate comes down and says, if you mess this up, man, y'all are all going down.
Right. So this statue of David, right? This statue of David is one piece.
Yeah.
That means
insane.
bro, he's doing this freehand.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Insane.
nuts. You know how long that is? I don't know, but I know it's a long time, right? So he's doing it freehand, right? And when people come up to him and ask him, and this is on record, and they're like, "Why are you doing it this way? Like, there's easier ways." Right? Like, because he's working, right? And people can come and see him and stuff like that. It was real dangerous, right? Again, this is before, like, scaffolding existed, right?
Yeah.
But, it's like the modern technologies, right?
like, yeah,
and
yeah.
he worked by himself. That's the other thing that was nuts about him. You know what I mean? So he would have, like, an assistant, but they weren't chiseling because it was too important for them to mess up.
Yeah.
So he did everything. So his thing is, this block of marble, David is in there. I just got to bring him out.
Damn.
Wow, that's his thought process.
That's his thought process.
Damn, because he is. He just had to chisel out everything else.
David is in there.
Fuck.
So when people talk about writer's block, then chisel.
Ooh. Killed him right there, bro. You just killed him right there.
Then chisel.
You killed the whole interview right there. That was beautiful.
Then chisel.
real.
Get to it.
Talk about segues. Like, what you just did there?
Then chisel.
Oh, fuck.
Get the chisel. And you got writer's block,
bro.
then write.
I almost fell out of my
You got
chair.
writer's block, then write. Then write. Right? We are addicted to perfection first time. We are addicted to final products. We're addicted to the pyramids and not the process.
Yeah.
Bro, if you got writer's block, right.
Yeah.
Chisel.
Yeah.
Get the chiseling.
Hey, fall in love with the process.
Right.
Fall in love with the process. No matter
Process
what
over
the fuck
product.
you're doing.
Process
no matter
over
what
product.
you're doing, fall in love with the process.
Process over product.
Right. Damn, that's applicable to so much. And I hate to go back to it, but it's like just in my mind. Like, it's even with the fucking... when he mentioned writer's block, I immediately... Even like editing the videos and shit. Like, it's not that I don't enjoy doing it. It's that I have a hard time getting started. It's almost like... And I'm creating an excuse, writer's block, for myself. Hold
on. What did I say about writer's block?
You said
bullshit.
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Because, why though? Why?
Because it's always there.
Because people use it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's bullshit how people use it. You just said it.
Yeah.
Man,
Straight up.
And honestly,
You just said it.
honestly, I've talked about this in the past with another one of my friends who just got his Bachelor of Science in Nursing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Congrats.
it's super cool, man. I was like, dude, good job. But we get to talking some of this philosophical type stuff, and you know, people get caught up on writing, and it's like if you just put something out there, you can go back and edit it.
Yeah.
Instead of having to be like, oh, I don't know what it is, just put something out.
Everything doesn't need to be out there. Like, write in silence. Write by yourself. Yo, your scratches. Well, what if I mess up? Who sees it?
Who good?
Right.
They only see it if you show it.
Right.
Just write, yo. You will get there. You got to start.
Yep.
You got to start.
Yep.
You got to start, dog.
Yep.
Like we're addicted to perfection.
Yeah. And it ain't got to be perfect, dude. It ain't got to be perfect. Just do it. Fall in love with the process. Get started. Do it. That's applicable across everything in life.
We
That's
probably
how I
got
say it.
about 3-4 more minutes for the whole
We
hour.
could go a little bit over.
No,
we
I
should.
know. Let's do the
all right,
thing.
Let's
Ready?
do this.
May I get this pen?
Yes.
All
We
right.
started.
Should
10
we
minutes
let him
early.
use this pen?
Man.
Feel the grip.
I don't like that.
He said he didn't like
I
it.
didn't like that grip.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I was trying it out earlier.
All right.
So
The pen is beautiful.
we'll give you
Thank
5
Pen is
minutes
beautiful.
now.
You still owe us pens, Mark.
So we wrote 3 words down. He does this thing online, so we wanted to do it here as well.
Go ahead and put the timer at 5.
I got a clock up there.
But for the people.
Oh, for the people.
For the people.
For the people.
I got the HTown hotties on there real
We
quick.
got the HTown hotties in.
Come on now, you can't forget about that.
Okay, but I don't know if they'll be able to see it. What the hell? That's a
Then
timer.
someone called. All right. So they just need to see the 5.
All right, cool.
There it is.
They
Yeah, they can see that.
All right, reset. Okay, so we thought long and hard about these words.
Perfect.
And so we wanted it to be as meaningful.
We wanted it to be profound
Let's
in
hear it.
depth, and
Let's hear 'em.
just to be able to let the creative juices flow with
But
this.
it doesn't need to apply to us
Cool.
and what we were thinking.
Cool.
It's just the 3 words we
Cool.
came up
Because
with.
it might not even be about us.
Cool.
You know.
Let's do it.
Check out the words.
Should
Let me hear them.
let me hear 'em? You read it.
Okay.
What are the
all
3
right,
words?
All right. So we're gonna start with the first word, and then we're just gonna go through it. The first word of the 3 that we want to go with, HTown.
Easy.
Easy. Okay.
Love it.
The second word is, this is well thought out also. Happy. and now the last word we're gonna have Derek read off because he was the mastermind behind this.
Hour. Those are the 3 words.
H-Town happy. Hit the timer.
All right, hit the timer. Go.
The timer. Okay.
Wait, you know what?
There it is.
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely.
There we go. So everybody can see
Absolutely.
what we should
Keep the look like.
down.
Oh man. What a city,
This
man.
is great. All right, so
Dude.
speaking about poetry and everything, this has been a fire episode.
Wonderful. It has.
Tell me about these 2 roads you came across 1-7 or something like that.
Well, there was 2 roads that were diverged in a yellow wood, and
What'd you do?
I was sorry that I could not travel both. And as a traveler, long I stood and looked down the path until it split in the undergrowth. And there is where I took the road less traveled.
Wow.
Pin drop.
Wow. I knew I was gonna have to. No. You keep it on all of us.
Yeah.
Keep it on all of us. Let them see them creative in his zone.
No, I was kind of nervous, but I was like, what is he gonna ask me to do, man? He tell us about the roads, man.
I knew I was gonna. The second we talked about he needed 5 minutes, I was like, we gotta get a good one.
I was able to do that, and I appreciate you putting me on blast for that. Thank you. But I think we need the people, I think the people might need to hear what gives a muskrat its musk.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Derek.
I don't remember.
Gee, what do you mean, man?
I forgot it.
I think you're giving me BS right now, bro. I think you're blowing smoke, bro. I think you remember, dude. Oh, man, no. So you got a monologue that absolutely just shakes the floor when he talks.
Let me freshen up on it real quick. Just because I don't want to mess up in it.
Here we are. HTown Happy Hour, man. Now, I enjoy this episode really specifically, more or less, because I'm quite the writer. Anyone who follows the show or anything like that, I do like to take my notes, and I got some pretty good information from this man today. And the writer's block, garbage. You just got to keep moving. I mean,
I don't have it memorized anymore. Just as I read it, I don't have it memorized anymore.
Well, it echoes in the room, bro. So I've heard it plenty of times. We were just throwing it out there. I didn't remember. I didn't remember the whole poem. I didn't remember the whole poem.
Cool. Courage. What makes a king out of a slave? Courage. What makes a flag on the mast to wave? Courage. What makes an elephant charge his tusk into the misty mist or the dusky dusk? What makes a muskrat guard his musk? Courage. What makes a sphinx the seventh wonder?
What is it?
Courage. What makes the dawn come up like thunder? Courage. What makes a Hottentot so hot? What puts the ape in apricot? What have they got that I ain't got?
Courage.
Courage.
That was beautiful, man. Here we go.
Done.
Oh, no.
All right, so we did our
H-Town
performance.
Happy Hour. Don't stop the time.
Okay.
Don't stop the time. All right. H-Town Happy Hour. We look through the skyline at high time where we find that we ask people for the hour. It's implanted as a mantle within a tower. This is what H-Town brings. When it feels like it's leaving, it's burrowing in the soul for its whole toll. There it is. Boom.
I love it.
Dude,
I love it.
well deserving
I'm
of
about to say,
snaps,
fuck
sir.
yeah.
Well deserving
and
of
you know what?
snaps.
Let me do a poem that's a little more
Off the
memorized.
cuff?
Yeah.
Give us some memorized.
I reached a point of no return, then I remembered my promise and making me a customer to my service. That came with non-negotiable terms, targeted as a non-Walmart policy that I can't nor won't return myself. When I left the shelf, the top one, I started life. These priceless times have been tagged on me. I have to remind myself to retail. No, excuse me. I have to remind myself to retell myself, not to discount me. I am the manager, on call and general. The question to how I can help you is always found on the row with the mirrors. What's new in store has always been in store. The inventory has been barcoded and accounted for. My worth is my offer. That is my only offer. Attention shoppers, we have a steal of a deal. Here I am, on or in the aisle. I am no longer waiting for intercoms to announce my calling.
Wow.
There it is.
That was awesome.
You know
what?
Word up. Thank y'all.
You know how, man, there was that one point wherever you're like, this is not retail. Oh, wait, hold up. No. there's that split second where
Yeah.
people think that you might have been fumbling the ball,
that was
but that was just a quick high step hesitation, and you were optioning after you pick 6 on that thing,
I
man.
had the Heisman.
Heisman on the heist, dude.
that
That was awesome. That was awesome. You covered so many different elements within not only a retail store, but a business, but the employees, the whole thing around
man. Thank you.
around all of that.
Damn.
You covered so many different meaningful parts in that story.
That was beautiful.
That was awesome.
That was beautiful.
Yes.
Well, shit, dude.
Man.
Fucking hour flew by, huh?
Hour flew
Hey, bro.
by.
That was
Props on
so
that.
dope.
Yo, and I was happy the whole time.
It's a happy hour, bro. We're in the tower. We're in the tower.
We're in the tower.
We shout out
And
Coward.
Hold up, man.
Sign that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
From your poet.
Yeah.
Beautiful. The poet laureate here in
Your
Houston.
poet laureate.
Dope.
Outspoken Bean.
Oh, man. Man, y'all just tune into what this guy's got going on, man. I mean,
OutspokenBean.com.
you know, man.
At Outspoken Bean on IG.
On everything, yep.
Man, there's a lot of people out there that have a lot to say, good stuff to say, and they're also showing the world their knowledge and how it's and helping other people out. Man, this guy's doing that with his instruction. Y'all tune in.
Yeah.
That was
Absolutely.
fucking
Man,
money,
this was
bro.
awesome. Thank y'all.
Dude, this was so much fun. I want to also give you props, bro. Evan even kind of mentioned it quickly. Like, we usually try to touch on certain things. And also, I think that might be part of us growing as interviewers, too. Like, we didn't have to specifically, and to you as well as being the interviewee, like, we didn't have to specifically ask a lot of questions. It came naturally. And it just happened in conversation.
It was organic.
We answered most of our regular, organic. It was real. It was authentic. That was fucking, and props to him, props
Bravo
to
to
us.
y'all.
Like,
Bravo to
damn,
y'all.
dude.
Bravo to your following. Y'all have a good brand here. So,
Thank you, bro.
Bravo.
And you know what?
And my man's.
Bravo.
Yo,
Joe Kahn
Joe
on the ones and twos, making it happen, man,
bringing
making the
it
movie,
happen,
making the scene
Captain.
happen, bro.
Couldn't do it without
This thing
you, bro.
wouldn't
Nah,
be
really
the
couldn't.
same without
It
you,
looks
bro.
great. It looks great seeing this, and also I watched some previous ones. Hey,
Cool.
Man,
Cool.
and we thank Joe for that.
And Joe, you kill it. Dude.
Hey, this is an awesome episode. Hey, everybody, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Stay tuned for the next episode next Sunday.
HTown Happy Hour, #1 podcast in the world. Lego.